You can't honor your aura if you don't know what it's made of. So let's talk about how to find your energy type and what it all means. So first and foremost, you'll need your exact birth time, location, and your birth date. And then you'll want to go to sabledanielle.com for my free human design body graph calculator. And you'll input your birth chart details. You'll hit enter, and then you'll pull up your body graph and you'll get this beautiful, confusing layout image of like shapes and lines and numbers. This is your body graph, and this is basically your energetic blueprint. This is your guide for life of how to honor your energetic design, your energetic makeup, and how you can live and flow like fluidly and honor yourself, live an aligned life. And so all of these things mean something. These shapes mean something. The lines mean something. The numbers, the colors, every single thing. The shapes are called centers. These are basically energy hubs. They're like little chakra systems, like little chakras basically, but with 2 additional ones, and they all have specific roles within your body graph. The lines are called channels, and they connect the centers together for fluid energetic connection. Sometimes they are all the way colored in, sometimes they're half colored in, sometimes they're not colored in at all. It just depends on where the energy is defined in your chart. The numbers that are showing up, these are called gates, and these dive into more deeper personality traits, habits, patterns, things that make you, things that you might be struggling with, or gifts that you may have. It's just a deeper dive into some characteristics that you have. The color is called definition, and this shows you where you were born with consistent energy and where you weren't. It's basically a blueprint of your energetic design. It shows you your gifts, your aura, gives you your energy type, and it tells you where you have consistent energy and where you don't have consistent energy, maybe where you're taking in energy. And definition can be categorized as open. Open is where you see anything white. It can be undefined, which would be an open center, a white center with maybe 1 number colored in. That would be an undefined center, because the whole center itself isn't colored in, but there is a little bit of color in there. And then we have defined, which would be colored in. And these are important to know because open is where you are taking in and amplifying energy. This is where you're conditioned. This is where your triggers and some patterns and habits and stuff are living from your conditioning. This is where you are impacted by external energy, and this energy like fluctuates. It's inconsistent because it's always impacted on your environment and who you're around. Undefined is very similar to open, except it's not as intense, it's not as vulnerable because there's a little bit of color in there. And then defined would be where you have consistent, reliable energy. This is the energy that you were born with. It's the aura you give off, your natural gifts, your personality, your energy. And this is good to know because if it's consistent within you, then you know you can always rely on it. If it's open, then you know that you're taking it and amplifying. And this is where you're conditioned. This is where we can break our generational patterns and learn to grow and what is impacting us externally. So if we look at the body graph, you'll see all these different shapes. And so starting at the top, we have the head center, and then there's the ajna center and the throat center. And then we have the identity center, and we have the will center. We also have the sacral center, the emotional solar plexus, the spleen, and the root. And they all have their own specific like roles and jobs. And the head center is about thinking. The ajna center helps process and analyze all of your thoughts. The throat center is about expression and communication and bringing things into manifestation, fruition. The identity center is about your sense of direction, your purpose, who you are, your identity. The will center is about willpower, follow through. Also is a very challenging type of energy. The emotional solar plexus center is about emotional awareness, emotional intensity, sensuality, sensuality, creativity. The spleen center is about intuition. Do I feel safe here? Also your physical like health. The root center is about taking action, strong, stable foundation, adrenalized action. And so you'll want to know what all these mean and if they're colored in on your chart and how that actually impacts you. And it's important to know that all the energy in your body graph is moving towards the throat center. Head and ajna are moving towards throat. Spleen's moving towards throat. Root, sacral moving towards throat. Emotions are moving towards throat. And that's so that it can be expressed and brought into fruition and manifested. So yeah, also please note that your energy does not change. What's colored in on your chart is always going to be colored in on your chart. That's never going to change. You can never change that. The only thing that changes is that well, it actually doesn't change, but the only thing that's impacted by external things is where you have open or white areas, and you're always taking in and amplifying energy from other people and from your environment. So your energy might shift, but your actual body graph will not change. The color does not change. Also, energy is impacted by external energy. So like I said, your moods may shift, your energy may shift a little bit. You may find things easier if you're around other people, and it creates a fluid, defined channel that wasn't there naturally within your body graph. So where to start after you pull your body graph? I would, since it's so confusing, there's so many elements, you can always dive deep. Also, which is why I'm here, because it was just a lot of information, but it's so much great information. I would start with your energy type, your strategy, oh my gosh, and your authority. Your energy type obviously is your aura. Your strategy is how you're meant to utilize and exchange your energy, and that always aligns with your energy type. Strategy and energy type always are in alignment. And then your authority is how you're meant to make your decisions, and that will shift and change depending on what energy is defined within your body graph. So yeah, and then after that, I would dive into the profile, and then not self. Wow, bless me. Your not self theme. So that's a quick and easy rundown of how to get started with human design on your own. We can always dive deeper together. I do offer one-on-one coaching sessions. I offer parenting, relationship, and business coaching, or just self-improvement for yourself. Go to sabledanielle.com to book your consultation. I also have some freebies on there, and you can sign up for my newsletter because there are also many freebies that come out in the newsletter, many updates that don't always come on YouTube. So I will catch y'all in the next video. I hope you have a great day. Peace.